Hey guys, NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, June 21st, 2021. So this will have covered the week of June 14th through the 20th of 2021. Overall, from a numbers perspective, I would say that this was a pretty successful week. You're seeing quite a few games being done in this past week, so let's go ahead and start looking through. Obviously, I didn't get the chance to work on Minecraft this week. I mean, maybe not obviously, because I was hoping that I would have time to do it. Just didn't end up having time, you know? You never know. Things come up and you get busy with video editing and with playing other games and stuff and with hanging out with people and with work stuff. So, it was kind of busy. So, the first platinums I earned were the North American PS4 and North American PS Vita versions of 50 Words by Palgi. This is, as with most Palgi games, it's a pretty quick and easy platinum trophy. It took me about a little under 2 hours for this version, whereas the Vita version only took about an hour and a half, or actually the Vita version might have been, yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes for the Vita version, so you can definitely do it faster than 2 hours. But for the Platinum Trophy, this one, it's basically word search, but with a really weird looking word grid, and you have to use all the letters. So it's a little bit different from standard word search, but it is still pretty easy. So you have to complete your first puzzle, which is unmissable. Highlighting one word backwards is also pretty much unmissable. But then you have a few gold trophies, and I would say that these are the three hardest trophies in the game by a wide margin. So you have to complete a puzzle while only highlighting words backwards. You have to complete a puzzle by finding all the diagonal words first, which are both, I felt like these might have been slightly buggy, like maybe I just made a mistake, which is certainly possible, but it felt like in each version of the game I had an issue with at least one of these trophies where it seemed like it should have unlocked, but it didn't. But it's very likely that I just made a mistake somewhere, so it's probably not glitched, it was probably just me making a mistake, but you never know, so maybe just be a little bit careful about these. Just, complete a puzzle while only highlighting backwards, only focus on that, then do another puzzle doing only the diagonal words. There are solutions up on, like, PowerPix's site and probably on videos as well. Now, this is the hardest trophy in the game, and it's one of the tougher trophies in any Palgi game. Solving a puzzle in this game in less than 3 minutes is not particularly easy. Because it's not a lot of time with the way the game controls. It was easier on the Vita because you can use the touch screen and you can move stuff around a little bit faster. But on the PS4, it's not the easiest thing in the world. This one will probably take you a few tries. I did it on this level. It's in the first page, and it's like beach-themed stuff. I did it on that one. And that one, to me, was the easiest. That's what the guide suggested. There might be another one out there that's easier, but that one was the easiest for me. I mean, as you can see, this one's only got 72%, and this Platinum even only has 71%. So it's not really one of the more overly common Palgi games. Obviously, it's still not hard, and it's probably still like 90% on PSN profiles. But a little bit more difficult than some of the other Palgi games, even though it's still not much to worry about. Zoom out for 5 seconds is very easy. Complete a puzzle without looking at the word list is very easy. Then you have to solve a puzzle by checking the word list when you only have one word left to find. So those are both pretty easy trophies, just as long as you're following a guide. Then you have to review a completed puzzle and reset a completed puzzle. You'll probably get both of these naturally while going for that 3-minute trophy. Then you have this whole feature. You can set it up to where you can highlight the words in all sorts of different colors. I don't really know what the purpose is, but you have to complete a puzzle using only one color, and you have to complete a puzzle using 10 different colors, as well as editing the palette for a total of 10 different colors, so you want to work on those together. They're all easy, but it's just kind of a weird extra feature that I'm not really sure had much of a purpose to it. This wasn't one of the better Palgi games for me. I wasn't as big a fan of it as some of the others. But maybe it was just me. Maybe I just wasn't in a best mood that day or something. I don't know. So then you have to solve 7 specific puzzles. And to solve a puzzle, you have to find all 50 words in them. So the puzzles you actually have to fully solve no matter what are Got the Blues, Tea Time, Ends with X, and it's also shaped like an X, Too Many Cooks, Feathered Friends, Money, 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 and Double O Heaven. So those are the 7 puzzles you have to solve fully. You don't have to solve any of the others fully, except maybe a different one for the 3-minute trophy. And then you just have to find specific words a total number of times throughout the 60 different puzzles that are available. But if you follow a guide, you can find out at least which puzzles they're in, and you can certainly look at a picture of the solutions for each puzzle that they're in. So you have to find the words baby, boots, cherry, drip, drizzle, eagle, mercury, mint, Paris, and zombie 3 times apiece. So you get 10 silver trophies just for finding those words, which only takes a few minutes total per trophy. So that's an easy set of silver trophies. Just you're going to want to look at a guide for those. So, easy platinum trophy overall, just not the easiest or fastest Palgi game. Like I said, it took, an hour and a half to 2 hours for each version. The Vita version is identical in terms of trophies. Didn't run into any glitch trophies or anything, at least not anything specific to the Vita version. So, pretty simple. Next up, I did FoxyLand, the North American PS4 and North American PS Vita. This is a reasonably fun little Ratalaika platformer game for the Vita and for the PS4. The Platinum Trophy is very easy, though. So it took me a little under 30 minutes to complete the PS4 version. And for the most part, it's pretty easy. It's a platforming game where you have to find a certain number of gems on each level in order to escape the level. But you have to die on any level, which is unmissable pretty much. You have to get your first gem, which is unmissable. That'll be the first trophy you get, most likely along with this one. You have to get your first cherry, and you have to collect a total of 100, which is pretty tough to miss because there's plenty of cherries on all the levels. You have to buy a single item from the shop. They're purely cosmetic, as best I can tell. They don't seem to do anything else. You have to defeat one of each of the 3 enemies that appear during the first 20 levels of the game, the toad, the opossum, and the eagle, by just landing on their heads. You have to complete a level with 3 stars, which I'm not entirely sure what the requirements are. I don't know if it's finish it with all 3 lives or if it's finish it while collecting everything. But you should be able to get it on the very first level of the game, and if for some reason you don't have it by the time you've finished all the other trophies, just go back and replay the first level, collect everything, and don't take any damage, and I'm sure that that would unlock it. And then you have to complete a total of 20 levels. Most of the levels in that first 20 are pretty easy, and a lot of them are pretty short. There's only like 2 or 3 that gave me any trouble, and usually it was just more out of my own stupidity than anything else. So, not a bad game at all, not a difficult platinum, just be wary of like 2 or 3 tougher levels in that first set. The Vita version I completed in only about 15 minutes, so I did the Vita version faster. I feel like there's a lot of Ratalaika games that play better on the Vita, like they just play a little bit more easily, they're a little bit more fun. Just control maybe a little bit better. And I feel like this was another one of them, sort of like with, Peasant Knight and a few of the other games like that just tend to be maybe a little bit better on the Vita, but again, maybe that's just me. Then we got another double platinum this week in Zoroptian Invasion. This is another quick, easy Ratalaika game, though this one is very hit or miss. I will say that. This game is very hit or miss on its difficulty. You can get really lucky and be good enough at the game that you beat it in 7 minutes, as I did for the North American PS4 version. Or you can just struggle your you-know-what off on the Vita version like I did and take, 25 minutes to beat it. And I don't remember how long it took me on the European PS4 version like a couple years ago. So, with this game, it's a Space Invaders clone, but I didn't really, like I said, I had no trouble with the PS4 version, but I struggled badly with the Vita version, though I'll get more into that in a second. So, for the trophies, you have to die once, which is basically unmissable, especially if this is your first time playing the game. You have to complete 7 levels of the game, which is going to carry you through these 2 boss fights. There's also individual trophies down here for completing 7 levels. So complete 7 levels and defeat the boss of the second area, and that will get you all of your progression trophies. Now, along with that, you also have to get a total score of 10,000 in a single game. And if you run out of lives, that score resets. So you really have to try not to get hit too much. You only get 2 lives, which is what can make this a little bit tougher. But you only get 2 lives at any given time. Occasionally you'll get an extra life. So I would say try to focus on getting the 10,000 score by not dying during the first 3 levels, including the first boss fight. And that should get you pretty close if not get you to that score number. And if it doesn't, just be very careful, because like the 4th level is also pretty easy. Then the 5th and 6th levels are where it starts to get a little bit tougher, and then you've got the boss fight on the 7th level. So just be careful with that. The only checkpoints you get are after each boss fight, but as I unfortunately found out on the Vita version, for some stupid reason, if you don't click continue quickly after running out of lives, even if you got that checkpoint after beating the first boss, or continue point, the game actually just resets you to the beginning, and then I was just frustrated, and that made me take longer because I was just, frustrated at it. Mostly at my own stupidity, but also at the weird game design choice with that. I mean, overall, it's not a very difficult platinum. Also, you gotta collect a single power-up, which is pretty much unmissable. You're gonna want to collect a lot of power-ups. But it can also be a little bit hit or miss with this, in that on the PS4 version, I got an extra life when I went on to the second area, where, starting on that 4th level, I got an extra life. I didn't get that on the Vita version. On the Vita version, I wasn't getting power-ups, and when I did get power-ups, I wasn't getting the shield power-ups. So I don't know what it was. I guess I was just kind of unlucky on the Vita, and then eventually got a little bit frustrated with it. So yeah, maybe that's what happened. I don't know. This is not one that I would particularly recommend out of all these easy, quick Platinum Trophy games. It's just a little bit too questionable as to whether or not you'll get a really good run and everything. And I like Space Invaders, but I'm not as big a fan of it as like Galaga and Pac-Man and some of the other classics. Then we've got Lego Harry Potter years 5 through 7. So I have now defeated all the students in 2 of the dueling categories. I believe there are 7 total. Yeah, it looks like there are maybe 8 total categories. Yeah, eight categories. So you have to beat a bunch of different duelers. This is going to take up a huge chunk of your Platinum Trophy time. The nice thing is that for 99% of these people, you can just turn in one direction and mash the square button until you win, because eventually you'll get some hits that go through, but it doesn't work for every single fight. There's a few where you're going to have to mix it up and play it more like you're supposed to, which I would recommend just deflecting shots back at them until they do damage, or if you get lucky, you can even get a stun attack on them, because that will stun them and leave them open to basically get insta-killed. But there's, I think, over 100 duels in the game. Maybe not that many, but there's a lot of duels that you have to do, so it's fairly repetitive. It's fun, but it's repetitive, and there's just a lot of them. And you won't have all the categories unlocked until you beat other categories and beat the game. You have to 100% the game, which requires you to win all of the duels, complete all the levels of the game, fill the stud meter on all levels, and then find all the collectibles, of which there are 3 different types within the levels. There's character tokens, there's red bricks, which are cheats, and there are mini kit pieces, which are little sorting hats or wizard hats. So I finished the main story, so all 4 movies. There's only 14 levels, though each of them are split up into multiple parts. But yeah, there's only 14 levels. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't just split it up into a larger number of levels, because they could have with the way they did it, because each individual level is split up into like anywhere from 2 to 4 smaller chapters. So I feel like they could have just done it more like that, and maybe that would have made a little bit more sense. But then again, I guess you would have had to deal with the different stud meter and everything for every level. I don't know. Whatever choice they made, though, I do like this game. I like the way it plays. Also, a nice thing about this game is that if you ever find all the collectibles in an area but don't want to finish it, you can save and return to the hub world, which not all LEGO games, especially on the Vita, do that. So it's a very helpful feature. You have to collect all the red bricks and all the characters. I don't know how many characters there are, but there's quite a few. You have to collect all the red bricks, which is very simple if you're following a guide. There's 14 of them, 1 in every level. Already did that one. That one would have been last week as well. So defeat Voldemort. Oh, I did that one last week as well. You do that one in the end of the Order of the Phoenix. So then you have a lot of miscellaneous trophies starting around here. You have to defeat Harry Potter in the Dueling Club while playing as Voldemort. You just switch to Voldemort at the Cauldron in the hub world. You have to bank a total of 100 million studs, which is easy once you get all the multipliers, though it probably shouldn't take you too much grinding thanks to all the Dueling Club. Defeat one of each enemy I think might be unmissable, but it might also not be because I didn't get it yet, so we'll have to see about that one, see what I missed. Then you have to hit an enemy with Confundo. So that is the one that does this. It's either Confundo or Imperious. I think it can be either, depending on what it is. Blinding an enemy creature, I think, requires you to use Lumos, but I could be wrong on that. I just got it kind of randomly somewhere because pretty much all spells can be used to attack enemies in this game, which is kind of nice. You have the mini kits, of which there are anywhere from like 5 to 7 mini kit pieces per level. Levicorpus, I think, is just making them hover, so I think it's just whatever Wingardium Leviosa is, so I think it's one or the other. Then this one is done in the final level of the game. You have to actually defeat Bellatrix without taking damage. I assume that you could use the Invincibility Red Brick if there is one. Then you have to defeat Bellatrix while playing as Sirius in the Dueling Club. You have to hit Creature with Confundo during this story mission. This is in the Order of the Phoenix. This one is going to be required to get a red brick. This one is pretty much unmissable. Just fill the stud meter once. I filled most of them without any sort of red bricks. You have to... This one was a little bit weird. This one is actually one of those slide puzzles whenever there's 4 pieces on a board. Not the Parseltongue puzzles or the Hermione book puzzles. These are the ones where you just have to move 4 pieces around like a slide puzzle. And you have to take at least 7 moves to do one. So not too difficult. Then, as a Death Eater, you have to cast at anyone in the Hogwarts Hub. You need to purchase the Death Eater, which is good for the dark, whatever you want to call it, the dark magic objects throughout the game. Haven't created a character yet. You have to defeat Dumbledore as Draco. You have to defeat Lily and James Potter as a custom character. You have to defeat Arthur Weasley while he's wearing a suit while playing as Voldemort in a suit. Random. You have to do this one, which is during, I believe, the last mission level of the Half-Blood Prince, I believe, is when you do that one, but I could be wrong. And then as Draco, you have to cast this spell, which I'm not even sure what that spell is. I guess it's something specific to him. So not a difficult platinum, not overly time-consuming. I'm over 50% completion at this point, and I'm only at like 6 to 7 hours played, so making good progress. It's just going to take a while to get through all the duels. And finally, this week I worked on Saints Row the Third Remastered. So during this week, I basically finished the story. I actually finished that on Sunday. So you're going to get all of these trophies for finishing the story. You have to complete Act 3 in 2 different ways. You have a choice to make at the very end of it as to which way you want to go, and with both of them, they each lead to an alternate, or not alternate, but they each then lead to a bonus mission. So you have to complete all of those missions in order to get both of these trophies, but thankfully these trophies are not missable because it just lets you replay the final mission. It encourages you to replay the final mission. Then I'm finishing most of the City Takeover gameplay. I'm at like 98% total or something, so I'm very close to being done with this. I think I currently have like 1 more activity total. I have about 5 more collectibles and maybe a few more gang ops. Then I finished basically every activity except I have 1 more round of Snatch to go. So, Heli Assault, you are guarding another car while using an attack helicopter. Trafficking, you are driving someone around the map to deliver certain substances. Mayhem, I did a few of these last time. I guess I forgot to delete the trophy images. Escort is where you drive around either a couple of consenting adults doing certain things, or you drive around a tiger because reasons. I guess they were inspired by Ricky Bobby. Snatch, I believe, is the one where you go around and you have to rescue hoes that have been captured by enemy gangs. Then Trailblazing is the racing. Tank Mayhem, already did that one, same with Professor Ginky. Then you've got the collectibles. Like I said, there's about 5 of those left. I've got 20 challenges left. I finished 21 of the 41. A majority of the remaining ones are easy, but a lot of them are still pretty grindy. Then taunt and or compliment 50 gang members. I recommend just doing the taunting part because you have to taunt a total of 50 gang members for a challenge. And there's a lot of challenges that you want to focus on doing before you have 100% completed the game. Otherwise, like all of the hoods and stuff, because at that point it becomes a lot more difficult to get gang members to spawn. Then kill 50... Oh, I did that one already, so I gotta look at those trophy images and stuff in the future. Upgrade a weapon in every slot. This is going to be pretty expensive. Then haven't destroyed all the gang operations. There's 2 or 3 left. I'm saving them just in case I need to farm kills by keeping territory open. I'm at like 22-ish hours, 23 hours. Then this one's annoying because you have to use both the penetrator and fart in the jar on the enemy, so it's going to be a little bit grindy, and I probably need to go ahead and work on that sooner rather than later, just so I don't make it harder on myself. Then you have to customize 10 vehicles, which I finished this week. That one's a very easy trophy. I'm surprised I didn't have it done previously. And then you have to do all of the Hitman and vehicle targets. I finished the vehicle targets last week. The Hitman targets, you can't get all of them until you get further into the game. But there's 36 of them, and a few of them are a little bit trickier, a little bit more annoying to bring out, but still not too difficult. I haven't started any of the DLCs yet, but from what I'm reading, Genki Bowl has no missable trophies because you can replay the activities. The trouble with clones, supposedly, you can replay the missions once you've beaten it. Gangsta's in Space apparently is heavily full of missable trophies. Great, gonna have to make some backup saves there. So, let's go ahead and sync up our trophies. Level 726, 98%, 20,555 total trophies, 511 platinums, 3,014 golds, 5,519 silvers, 11,511 bronzes. Plans for the upcoming week. Hopefully I can finish Saints Row the 3rd's platinum. I don't know if I can finish the 100% this week, but I should be able to get close. I'm sure I'll do a couple of easy platinums along the way this week because now I have more time to do so and more of a focus on doing so. Don't know about the Division. We'll see about that at some future point. I will say, though, interesting fact about the PS3. GTA 5 on the PS3 is going to be going down at the end of the year, so that was surprising to me, especially since that one's going down, but not like, you know, Red Dead and GTA 4. But I think it's because of a server thing and who owns the servers and stuff. So otherwise, maybe I work on the Division, but probably not. Mainly going to focus on Saints Row and do some easy platinums probably. Streams should be normal this week, Friday and Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to do Fallout 4 both days, though. Might try to find something different to play. I don't know yet. And yeah, I think that's going to be about it for this update. As for video uploads, there are still probably going to be 8 more Aruba vlogs to upload. The first one went up on Sunday, and there's one more episode of that Mario Party 8 drunk game that I have to edit and upload, so get that done hopefully this week, and another one of the vlog videos, and then focus on the vlog videos for a few weeks after. Now, in about 2 weeks, there's going to be possibly another lull in not just uploads, but also streaming, because I'm going to be moving into a new place, but I'm going to go more in depth into that next weekend. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already, and I will see you later this week for more videos and streams.